So guys, welcome back to Studiosetstage. Cynthia, Mallard.
And I'm Marq.
That's right, guys. As promised, we are here. Happy Black History Month continuing.
Yes.
All year long, like we always say.
Yes, indeed. Studiosetstage, you could have been anywhere in the world, but we're so glad that you made it here with us on 2022 edition Black History Month, but Black History 365 all year round.
That's how we get down here on Studiosetstage, guys. As you can see, as promised, guys, we have our celebrity in the house, our Black History Month spotlight for this week. I'm so happy that she made some room for us in her busy schedule.
Yes,
but you are looking at the amazing Chiriga King Vinson, the staff attorney with Legal Services Alabama, in the house. I just want to say thank you and welcome to Studiosetstage, Miss Vinson.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you so much for having me on tonight. Thank you.
Very cool, very cool. So listen, guys, as we always do here on Studiosetstage, we always just bring you people who we feel like they have graduated, right? They started at a small place, and then they've gone through a journey, right?
Yes.
And then they're on like this major stage that we like to just really pump up, because you know what? You need that, right? In life, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's needed, and it's about celebrating those accomplishments, because that's the summation of life. It's about the journey, it's about the celebration of it. And definitely, it's supposed to be, because hey, that's what life is about.
That's what life is about. Yeah, we have fun here on Studiosetstage. Chiriga, I just want to say, how are you doing?
I'm doing very well. I am. Thank you.
Very good. Well, like I said, it's not often that we have an attorney here. Of course, this is a special occasion. It is Black History Month. We are continuing to celebrate.
Yes.
And I know you don't have just a whole lot of time, but just for those who are listening and celebrating this momentous occasion of Black History Month 365, tell us like what it means to you. Just first off, let's just jump into it.
Oh my gosh. Black History Month to me is just a time to reflect on the accomplishments of African Americans in this country. I think that it's important for us to take time, pause, and give credit where credit is due. We have African Americans, Black, we have made so many contributions to society, and we don't get that credit. To this day, 2022, we're still being, villainized. People still look negatively upon us, when in actuality, we've helped create and shape this nation. So I just love the fact that we take time and pause to reflect on everything that we have contributed to this nation. So I'm here for the Black History Month 365. I really am.
Awesome. So, I just wanted to ask you, like I said, a great accomplishment, you deal with the law. You deal with the law every single day in your dealings. And I just got to ask, as a prominent African-American, what made you, what I guess went off in your head that said, oh, I have got to be a lawyer. I've got to be an attorney.
Figure that out. I think everybody has a sense of purpose and a calling. And I knew from an early age that I wanted to help people, but I just didn't know how I was going to help people. So I became interested in law when I was in undergrad. When I was studying, I was actually a criminal justice major, and I was trying to figure out what I was going to do after I graduated. And to be honest with you, I don't think it was so much a calling to practice law as it was a calling to strive for something greater. No one in my family had ever gone to grad school, period. There actually, I think I was the second person to graduate college in my family, only behind my mother. So I wanted to accomplish something great in this life. And I was like, hey, I think I could be an attorney. So that was the motivation behind it. And that's how, that was the first step. So that's how it all started for me.
Wow.
Yeah. And Chiriga, I know we've been knowing each other for some time, so I've been able to see firsthand, you know, your journey, and you know, really, I know that's a story in itself.
Yeah, and I can get into it. I don't mind.
But it's a celebration. So you know, and you know, basically going back, is there any thing that you want future, you know, those that are aspiring to go in that profession, because you know it's needed right now? Is if there's ever been a time for those that want to aspire to change the face of, you know, this whole legal system, you know, and what's needed and the effects of that. What advice would you give to those that are aspiring to get there?
Okay, and can we back up? I want to tell y'all a little bit about my journey so it'll all make sense what I'm going to say. So basically where I am today, and hang on with me, but where I am today is the result of a lot of failure. And a lot of having to pick myself back up again and try again. When I graduated from law school, you guys know that I was not successful in my first attempts to pass the bar exam. And, but it's okay. And so what I want to tell people, it's okay to have failures, because that's how you learn. You learn from your mistakes. And as long as you pick yourself up and keep trying, you will get there. What I want to say is, for anybody who wants a career in law, is the first thing is don't be intimidated. Do not be intimidated. I wish I understood that a long time ago. Most of the people who go to law school, they leave a university where they're one of the best and the brightest. And then they go to law school and it's a sea of the best and the brightest. And sometimes you can be intimidated by that, but don't be. I wish I could go back and tell myself, don't be intimidated by those who are smarter than you. Those are the people that you need to gravitate towards, the people who have more knowledge than you. You know, link up with those people, learn from them. You know, you're not going to learn from the people who, you know, aren't on your level. And I'm not saying that in a judgmental fashion. I'm just saying, but seek out those people and don't be intimidated by them.
Well, you know, they say if you're the smartest person in the room, right? You
need to get out of there.
You got to get
yes, exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah. So you should in a way want to be the least intelligent person in the room.
Exactly.
But that's in go for it. Like if this is a passion of yours, because representation matters. And so, you know, in the society and the times we're living in, where we see that we have just as many racial issues as we've always had, it seems like we're going backwards in some areas. And honestly, it's the law that's going to bring about a change in things. So we need people who look like us to be in those rooms, making those decisions, drafting this legislation. So we do need people in the field of law, field of politics, all those arenas. We need people who look like us, who understand our struggles, who will be a voice for all of us.
For not just in the profession, because a lot of times I think, especially about young people, even people who, you know, older people, you know, you're thinking about lawyer, attorney, you're thinking, you know, let me make it rain. You know, I've heard that, you know, coming up, but it's not the case, right? Or, you know.
Well, I mean, for those who want to go into those areas, it may be the case for them, but there's a whole other, you know, like I said, when I started wanting to be an attorney, when I first said, you know, thought about the law, I never wanted to go after the money. Now, I wish I did, but for me, I've always had an inward passion towards my people, and an inward passion to make things better for those who are coming behind me, for the, you know, the world that we live in. I wanted to just make this world better. I know that sounds like a cliche, but that's really what's in my heart. I want to leave this world better than when I first came in it.
Oh yeah.
So for me, practicing law was never about the dollars. It was always about the change that I could make. Now, originally, you know, what I'm doing now is not exactly what I thought I would be doing. Originally,
it never is, right?
Yeah, originally I thought I would be a prosecutor, you know, and that's a wonderful area too. We need people who look like me in criminal law and things like that. But I work for a wonderful organization. So on a daily basis, I'm helping people. So I'm so blessed to be able to do what I do.
Right. Awesome. And, you know, that's a testament to, you know, where you say, well, you know, you always, at first you'd be like, well, yeah, I want to do this. But, you know, life has a way of directing or even shifting your path. And even going back to like what you said about the core, your core, you always had, you know, in the back of your mind, you said, well, look, I want to use this as a vehicle to evoke change and to help people. And, you know, I think, you know, that's what your journey has brought you there. It's brought you back to that center where you can actually be, like you said, be of service, serving others, helping others, and bringing about that change, which is very important.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, if you're just joining us, we are talking to the most noted attorney, legal services of Alabama, attorney. You probably have heard of her. If you have not, one day you will see her on CNN and all of the major national broadcasts. We can say that we got her first, that we got her started. So
I remember when.
Right,
I remember her. I remember you.
We will look at CNN and say, yes, well, she graced us with her presence first. But this is Studiosetstage. I'm Cynthia Mallard.
And I'm Marq.
And Chiriga, I just want to continue because I don't know if we really delved into it. You know, again, this is Black History Month. We're in the middle of it, 365 days of the year. And it's about spotlighting Black History Month, of course, right? Our people, our culture, right? And those extraordinary individuals like Chiriga Vinson that you are looking at, that you are listening to. But I just want you to tell us, when was the first time you took the bar and when did you pass it finally?
Okay. Yeah, this is the story. So I actually graduated from law school in 2001. And that was the first time that I took my bar exam, which is, you know, the standard. But I did not pass. And I took it a few more times and I did not pass. And I can't tell you how difficult and the mental toll that took on me. So basically, after being so unsuccessful, I decided to forget about it. And I tried my best to put that behind me and go forward with life. So I got married, you know, I had a child, worked in various jobs in the legal profession, and just tried to kind of forget that, you know, I had this, I'll say now, a calling on my life. I didn't realize then, I wasn't sure then, but now I realize it is a calling on my life. So basically, what happened, and I'll tell you when I decided to take my bar exam again. So I have a daughter, she's 12 now. And I think at about the age of 8, she looked up and saw my my diploma, from law school. My degree from law school, excuse me. And she was reading it. And she was like, "Mommy, what is this?" And I was like, "Oh my God. Oh my God." And
don't the kids, moment, they just do that. They just had it.
So she was reading my degree and she was like, "What is this?" And at that moment I realized, oh my God, I can't quit. I have a daughter who's watching me. How can I ever tell her not to give up on her dreams and not to quit what's in her heart to do if I quit?
Right.
And so it was at that moment I realized that I had to try again. And so I did. I gave it one last effort, and I put my all into it. But I had something, or someone rather, that I had to do it for. Like I just had to. Yes, my motivation, my reason. Yeah, she definitely was. And so finally in summer of 2019, I did take my bar exam and I did pass it. And so, thank God, I praise God for that. That I didn't give up on myself. Wow. And I thank God that he didn't give up on me either. And that, and I love it because if you're a person who had a dream and thinking that they can accomplish it, then you need to get in touch with me, because I will cheer you on. I have been through that. I know what it's like to think that, your whole life, what you work for is all for naught. But I'm telling you, it's not. If that passion is still there, you can do it. Don't ever doubt yourself. I mean, I came back from what a lot of people would say is an impossible situation, passing a bar 18 years after graduating law school. That's just not heard of.
Oh my gosh, it's not.
Oh so my gosh. I do give myself a little pat on the back for
we
that.
We give you a pat. Hey, that deserves a big. Yes. All our Studiosetstage, if you're watching us, guys, I hope you guys are clapping. Raising whatever you do, capping it out. Whatever it is. I'm gonna give it all to you, girl. I'm gonna give it all to you. You already know.
Hey.
So I encourage everybody to find their why. My daughter was my why. So find your why. And once you find your why, you can do it. I promise you. That's my thing. Honestly, I don't care.
You're not too old. You're never too old.
You're never too old. No. You're not too old. You're not too poor. It's not too late. You can still accomplish those goals that you originally set out to do. So get in contact with me. I will cheer you on. Whatever you need. I've been there. So if I did it, you can do it too. There's nothing special about me. I promise there's nothing special about me. So if you have a goal, go after your goal. And that's it.
You are, you know what, I beg to differ. So you are very special. Everyone who appears here on Studiosetstage is very special. I know we were just talking off air, but I want you guys to understand that not only is Chiriga Vinson an attorney, but she's also an activist, and you can hear it in her voice. She's being very modest, but she has led several social action initiatives in Alabama. You give them hell, from what I understand.
And you know what? That is, again, like we said, being, answering the call to your purpose and your God-given purpose. And, a lot of times, sometimes, man, it could be a little overwhelming. You're like, am I really built for this? But Chiriga, that's a testament to you being built for it.
That's right. And being very special. So, you laugh, but I mean, like I said, as an attorney, people are looking up to you. Are a Black woman, when you are out and about, and you see like little Black girls or little Black boys, obviously you're thinking, I need to be the best role model possible.
Absolutely. And that's something that I've always strived to be, is a role model. And I don't even know where that comes from, but I've always believed that people are going to be looking up to me, and I have to present my best self for them. And part of me helping my community is the life I live. And I'm not talking about being perfect or, living this wonderful, perfect moral life or whatever, but I'm just talking about being a good human person, being a good, decent human. Helping your community when you can, being there for people when you can, using the gifts and the talents that you have to be there for others. Every child looks up to somebody, and sometimes you find yourself being a role model, even when you never planned to do so.
Wow.
So I think it's important to be involved in the community. You know, just be involved in the community, be there, set a good example. And the thing about it is, setting a good example is not always easy. It's not always the road that everyone else is traveling. And if there are young people listening, I think that what I would say to them is just have the courage to be who you are. If your friends think you're weird for, obeying the rules and listening to your teachers and doing your homework, then, maybe you just need to get a new set of friends, because in the end, it's going to pay off. Be a leader, not a follower. You don't have to, don't make bad decisions, and just really think about the consequences of your actions. So yeah, for the young kids out there, the world is full of opportunities, and don't ruin your opportunities by following someone else down the wrong path.
Oh, wow. Girl, you said a mouthful there, because we will remind you that Attorney Vinson has been in a courtroom or two. She didn't say anything about that, but she has gone before judges, and judges are her friends. Am I correct?
As they would say, we was watching this movie, and the guy looked at the guy and he said, I know people.
And she does. If she's on Studiosetstage, guys, if she's on Studiosetstage, trust me, she is heavy. Oh, yeah. And we are so happy that you are a friend to the show, Studiosetstage, Miss Vinson.
I'm so happy to be here.
Well, listen, we know you got to go real quick, but favorite color?
I don't have one.
I thought she was going to say black, but you know what? Favorite food?
All of it, except for cottage cheese.
Okay. It's Black History Month.
Favorite activist?
Ooh. Oh, that's a good one.
You know what? I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, do three. We'll make it.
If it can't be one, top three.
No, I have an answer for you.
Okay.
And I hope I'm not taking too much of your time, but I want to say this, and this is very important to me for Black History Month. But growing up, I think one of the problems that I had in trying to pursue my career, going to law school, one of the reasons why I felt intimidated, and one of the reasons why I felt like I wasn't good enough, is because I didn't have anybody close to me that I saw in the field of law. There were no lawyers or judges in my family. There were no, I didn't know anyone in this field. So I was trying to charter uncharted territory for myself. And so when I got to law school, I felt like, I didn't fit in. I didn't belong there. And so in my opinion, one of my issues was I didn't know who I was, and I didn't know the greatness from whence I came. That's why celebrating Black history is so important, so that we learn about the people who came before us, who accomplished all these great things, so that we'll know that inherently that we have those same abilities to accomplish everything. So in saying, I wanted to get that out there, but to me, my favorite activists are the generation who's coming up now.
Wow.
It's not anybody in the past.
Awesome, right?
It is the people who are the people behind us, younger than us, who are in these streets, who are so smart, who are so bold, who are so vocal, who are so passionate, who do not give up. They are my favorite activists, and they are my motivation.
Okay,
even for what I do.
And to go with that, give us a book that we need to get out here and totally read during Black History Month. possibly something that changed your life?
Okay. I don't know if there's a book that changed my life, but I will tell you, I don't want to say but my sorority, we put on a program, and there is a book called it's about Arthur Peggy Towns, and it was it's called Scapegoat, and it was talking about our hometown, Cynthia. Remember, I did this program, but the reason why that book affected me is because it was a part of a history of my community that had never been shared. And when I tell you that this story could it needs to be a movie made out of it, the Scapegoat by Peggy Allentown.
Right.
But it's a story of a young African-American man with a low IQ who was accused of rape in our hometown of Decatur, Alabama. And it occurred in the 1970s. And it talked about his trial and conviction. And then there's a part of the book where there's protesting, and there was a clash between the Klan and the citizens of Decatur. But the reason why that book affected me the way that it did is because, Cynthia, coming from our hometown, you don't realize the history. You don't realize that there was a core of people who were so passionate about their community and about this man's innocence, because he was innocent. That's what I want to tell y'all. He was innocent. Right. Yeah. And the fact that, you know what, if I'm going to make a change, sometimes I have to get out of my comfort zone and I have to fight. I have to do more than just talk about what I'm going to do. I actually have to get out there and work. I have to sacrifice. Yeah. I have to be engaged in my community. Our citizens then, they didn't just talk about this man's innocence. They protested for him. They did sit-ins. They were at the county courthouse. And so for me, because like Eddie said, part of me is like, I am a part activist. That just ignited me even more to make sure that I'm doing my part. One of the benefits of, having a legal education is also understanding how laws work for and against you. And so it is my goal to help my community understand how these laws work, what you can and cannot do, and to be able to use the law for your advantage. And I think that's the thing that a lot of us are afraid of and are intimidated by the law. But no, you got to learn how to use that for your advantage, because the same laws that can restrict you, you can change those laws. You have the power to effect change in your community. So that book was a real big motivation for me to say, hey, we can't just sit down when these issues occur. We have to take action. So that's
wow.
A book that.
Well, listen, again, guys, I am so happy. Chiriga, attorney Esquire. Let's do it right. Attorney Esquire, Chiriga King Vinson,
y'all are too much. Y'all are too
right
much.
here in the spot, right here on Studiosetstage. So, Ms. Vinson, we know we cannot let you go. You have to give us a way that we can contact you for all of our Studiosetsstagers who are waiting with their pens and paper of how we can contact you.
How can we stay in touch?
That's right.
I'm on Facebook, and I'm an open book on Facebook. You're gonna get a little bit of comedian. You're gonna get a little bit of sister soldier. You're gonna get a little bit of preaching. So just follow me on Facebook, Chiriga King Vinson. Send me a request. I don't do Twitter or Instagram really too much, but I'm on there, so you can find me. But yeah, I'm on social media.
You can't drop any email. You can't drop any emails or anything like that. I'm asking.
I'll drop an email, Chiriga.Vinson@yahoo.com.
All right, you guys heard that. Chiriga. What? No, you got to say that now. You got to say it again. Come on now.
Chiriga.Vinson@yahoo.com.
Very cool. Very cool. Yes, well, thank you so very much.
Thank you.
We love you. And we say this to everyone. Happy Black History Month. 365 days of the year.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Very good. Until next time.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Awesome. Yes. Guys, you just heard Esquire Chiriga King Vinson, like I said, top attorney in Alabama, also just top activist, just really there fighting for the people. Just amazing, right?
Awesome, and great message, guys. You know, she told you it's about, you know, finding your purpose.
That's right.
And actually with Black History Month, knowing where you come from.
Yeah, knowing who you are.
Knowing who you are.
And leading toward change, right?
Yes, indeed.
Find something that you can change, something that you can make better, right? Yeah. Like literally listening to her, it was like in the back of my mind, I was just like, yes. That's what Studiosetstage is, right?
It's about, a platform which, you know, definitely will encourage you to find your voice, to find what makes you, you know, your reason.
That's right.
Your why.
You start out studio, you know, maybe a small place. You progress right to the set. Maybe you somewhere in between reaching your goal, and then you're on your main stage, right? Studiosetstage. Exactly. Yes, guys, don't forget, you can always reach us. We're on all top social platforms. There's no excuse for you to say you can't find us, right?
Yes.
You're watching us right here on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe, okay?
Yes, follow us at Studiosetstage. Check out our website at studiosetstage.com.
Yeah.
You know, where you can find merchandise.
Yeah.
You know, we've got some pretty cool stuff for our Studiosetstage out there.
Yeah, support. You support us.
Hit the thumbs up.
Support you guys, right? Yeah. So thumbs up, and definitely subscribe. And don't forget, guys, we also want you to share, right?
Yes,
I always talk about this, you know, it's about sharing. Yeah, we want you to subscribe to keep the information for yourself, but we also want you to pass along the show. Pass along what we're talking about, you know?
Right. And then you catch us on YouTube, but listen to us on all the major podcast platforms.
Yeah.
Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, also Spotify, and the Odyssey app.
Exactly, guys. So, hey, without further ado, Black History Month, 365 days of the year.
All the time.
For Marq Dean, I'm Cynthia Mallard. This is Studiosetstage. Catch you next week.